The story begins deep inside the dense jungles of India, where we see a wild young boy running through the forest. That boy is Mowgli, and he's being trained by Bagheera to become a good wolf. But being human, Mowgli can't run as fast or move like the other wolves, so he gets caught. Bagheera gently explains, if you don't learn to run with the pack, Mowgli, you'll always be the one left behind, and someone will make you their prey. Even though Mowgli was human, he lived among wolves. When he was just a baby, Bagheera found him abandoned in the jungle and took him to a wolf pack. There, a kind mother wolf named Raksha raised him as her own son. The pack was led by Exile, a wise and noble leader. But today, Mowgli was sad. No matter how hard he tried, he just couldn't be a good wolf. And once again, he had been caught by Bagheera. Sometime later, a severe drought hit the jungle. The rivers dried up, and water became scarce. All the animals gathered near the only watering hole that still had water. They called this place the Peace Rock, because whenever the water was low, a law of peace was declared. No animal could harm another while drinking there. Everyone was peacefully drinking water, and Mowgli too was quenching his thirst, using one of his clever little inventions. But Exile stopped him, saying, a true wolf never uses tricks or tools. Mowgli respected his words and stopped immediately. Just then, the terrifying tiger Shere arrived. Exile quickly told Mowgli to hide behind him. Shere sniffed the air and growled, I can smell the scent of a man here. Hand him over, Exile. I want to kill him. But Exile stood firm and replied, Mowgli is part of my pack, and you cannot harm him. Shere smirked and said, for now the Peace Rock protects him, but when the rains return, the water will rise, and peace will end. And when that happens, no one will stop me from hunting him. With that, he turned and disappeared into the jungle. Days later, the rains returned, and so did fear. The wolves gathered to decide how to protect Mowgli from Shere. Mowgli overheard everything, not wanting anyone to get hurt because of him. He stepped forward and said, I don't want to bring danger to my family. I'll leave the pack myself. Just then, Bagheera appeared and said, Mowgli is right. I brought him here, and now it's my responsibility to take him away. But Raksha refused. She couldn't let go of the boy she raised like her own child. Mowgli hugged her and softly said, I'll come back to see you, I promise. And with that, Bagheera and Mowgli set off through the forest. On the way, Mowgli asked, where are you taking me? Bagheera replied, to the man village, where you truly belong. But Mowgli protested, I don't want to go there. You were the one who told me to stay away from humans. I'll live with any other animal, but not with men. Bagheera didn't respond, and they continued their journey quietly. Suddenly, he heard something, the sound of heavy footsteps and rustling leaves. He told Mowgli to run north, but before he could react, Shere attacked. Bagheera fought back fiercely, giving Mowgli a chance to escape, but he couldn't hold the tiger off for long. Shere begins chasing Mowgli through the jungle, determined to catch him. To escape, Mowgli climbs onto a herd of wild buffalo, and as the herd runs through the valley, he manages to lose the tiger in the chaos. Furious that his prey got away, Shere storms off to find Exile. He growls, I told you to hand the man cub over to me, but instead you sent him away from the jungle. Then, in an act of betrayal, Shere kills Exile by throwing him off a cliff. Standing before the terrified wolves, he declares, until that man cub is found, this land belongs to me. Meanwhile, Mowgli is seen sleeping on the back of the buffalo herd. When he wakes up, he notices they are moving through the mountains. Suddenly, heavy rain causes a massive flood, and Mowgli is swept away by the rushing water. Struggling to survive, he grabs onto a floating tree branch and drifts down the river until he reaches a dense part of the jungle. As he explores this unfamiliar place, he starts calling out for Bagheera, but there's no answer. Then he spots a few berries hanging from a branch and uses a vine to pull them down. Just as he begins eating, a few mischievous animals snatch the berries and run off. Mowgli chases after them and ends up climbing a tall tree, where he comes face to face with a giant python named Kaa. Kaa looks at him and asks, what brings you so deep into the jungle, little one? Mowgli replies, I live here. But Kaa smiles and says, you don't even know who you are, do you? Using her hypnotic eyes, Kaa begins to show Mowgli visions of his past. She reveals that humans usually stay far away from the darkness of the jungle, living in villages filled with light and fire. But one night, a traveler came to the jungle with his baby, protecting him with a burning torch, the red flower that all animals fear. Shere attacked that traveler and killed him, but in the fight, the fire burned his face, forcing him to flee. In his escape, he never realized that the man's child had survived. That child was Mowgli. As Kaa continues, she hypnotizes Mowgli and prepares to eat him. But suddenly, a large bear bursts in and knocks her away. The bear saves Mowgli just in time. The next morning, Mowgli wakes up to see the same bear sitting nearby. His name is Baloo. Baloo says, I saved your life from that snake, kid, so you owe me. He then takes Mowgli to a tall cliff and points upward. See that honeycomb? You're going to climb up there and get it for me. Once you do, we're even. Mowgli cleverly builds a small contraption using vines to lower himself down the cliff. With a stick, he starts knocking the honeycomb loose. The bees sting him, but he doesn't give up. Using his feet, he finally manages to break the hive free and bring it down to Baloo. He says, now we're even. I'm leaving. But Baloo stops him. He doesn't want Mowgli to go because he enjoys having him around and wants more honey. Baloo convinces him to stay and help gather more. Mowgli refuses, saying, Bagheera told me to go to the man village, and that's where I'm going. Baloo sighs and replies, all right, kid, I'll take you there myself. They begin their journey toward the man village. As night falls, they get closer, and Baloo asks, why do you even want to go there? Mowgli Mowgli answers, Bagheera said I need my own kind. He said I'll be safe there. Baloo smiles and says, you could make your own home here. We'll gather all the honey we need before winter and live easy. Mowgli thinks for a moment and agrees to stay with Baloo. On the other side of the jungle, Shere Khan had taken control of the wolf pack. Raksha, heartbroken and furious, came to him and asked, why are you doing all this? Shere Khan growled, because I want to kill the man cub, and when he hears that I've killed Exile and taken over the pack, he'll come back to save you, and that's when I'll get him. The next morning, Mowgli was busy building a clever setup to collect honey. The other jungle animals were helping him, and together, they built an impressive contraption. With their teamwork, they gathered plenty of honey. Mowgli and Baloo celebrated their success, laughing and having fun. The two had become great friends. Suddenly, they heard someone approaching. It was Bagheera. Mowgli's face lit up with joy as he ran to greet him, but Bagheera was serious. He told Mowgli it was time to go to the man village. Mowgli refused, proudly showing him all the honey he and Baloo had gathered. But Bagheera wasn't impressed. He got angry and said, I told you wolves don't use tricks or tools. Mowgli tried to explain, I was just helping Baloo, but Bagheera said, enough, we're leaving, now. Mowgli shook his head and replied, I'm not going anywhere. Baloo stepped in and said calmly, it's already late. Let's rest tonight and we'll leave in the morning. Bagheera reluctantly agreed, and the three of them went to sleep. Early the next morning, Mowgli woke up to the sound of elephants trumpeting in the distance. Curious, he quietly followed the sound. When he arrived, he saw a group of elephants gathered around a pit. Inside, a baby elephant was trapped. At first, the elephants mistook Mowgli for a threat, but when he bowed his head, they realized he meant no harm. Mowgli quickly ran back, grabbed some of his vines, and used them to make ropes. With the elephant's help, he tied the ropes around the baby and pulled it out of the pit safely. From a distance, Bagheera and Baloo were watching. Both were stunned. No one had ever dared to go that close to the elephants before. Baloo looked at Bagheera and said, why are you sending this kid away from the jungle? He belongs here. Bagheera sighed and replied, because Shere Khan is after him. He won't stop until Mowgli is dead. Baloo suggested, then take him back to the wolves. Their leader Akela will protect him. But Bagheera looked down and said softly, Akela is dead. Shere Khan killed him. He added, the only way to keep Mowgli safe is to take him to the man village. Baloo, understanding the danger, agreed to help. Later that day, Baloo went to Mowgli and said, now that Bagheera's here, you two should go together. But Mowgli refused. I want to stay with you, Baloo. You're my friend. Baloo hesitated, then forced himself to lie. I'm not your friend, kid. You just helped me get some honey. That's all. I don't need you anymore. Mowgli stood there, heartbroken. Without saying another word, he climbed up a tree and sat alone, upset and confused. Suddenly, a group of monkeys appeared. Before Mowgli could react, they grabbed him and started carrying him away. Mowgli shouted for Bagheera and Baloo, who immediately woke up and began chasing after the monkeys. The monkeys carried Mowgli through the forest, heading toward the Cold Lairs, an ancient, crumbling palace hidden deep in the jungle. Baloo and Bagheera ran as fast as they could, climbing rocks and vines, trying to catch up. The monkeys reached the top of a tall mountain, where the old palace stood in ruins. They dragged Mowgli inside, while Baloo and Bagheera struggled to climb the steep cliff behind them. It was a dangerous climb, but they refused to give up. They had to save him. Inside the ancient ruins, we meet the mighty king of the monkeys, King Louie. Towering over Mowgli, he says, you want to live in this jungle, don't you? But Shere Khan is after you. I can protect you, and you can stay here safely. He leans closer and adds, I have everything, except one thing, something only you can give me, the red flower. Mowgli looks confused and says, I don't have any red flower. Louie chuckles and replies, you're a man's child. The red flower is what makes humans who they are. It's fire. Only man can create it and control it. So bring it to me. Don't lie to me, boy. Give it to me, and together, we'll rule the entire jungle. But Mowgli stands firm. I can't bring you the red flower. Just then, Baloo sneaks in and starts distracting Louie with his silly talk, giving Bagheera a chance to grab Mowgli and lead him away quietly. But one of the monkeys spots them escaping and alerts Louie. Louie roars in anger and orders his monkeys to stop them. A massive chase breaks out through the ruins. Baloo and Bagheera tell Mowgli, go, we'll hold them off. As Mowgli runs, Louie himself appears, smashing through the walls, shouting, you can't run from me. Stay here with me, boy. Together we can rule this jungle. Mowgli yells back, I'm going back to my pack. Louie laughs and says, didn't you hear? Shere Khan killed Akela. Mowgli freezes. You're lying. He turns and runs as fast as he can while Louie chases him through the collapsing palace. Mowgli leaps across a broken pillar to a nearby tree, and in that moment, the old ruins crumble behind him. The entire structure collapses on top of Louie, trapping him beneath the debris. Mowgli sits on the tree shaken, and Mowgli asks, is it true? Is Akela really dead? Bagheera sighs. I was going to tell you, Mowgli, but Mowgli's heart fills with anger and sadness. You both knew, and you didn't tell me. Without another word, he runs away into the jungle. Baloo and Bagheera chase after him. Worried, Mowgli keeps running until he reaches the edge of the man village. There, he sneaks in quietly and spots a burning torch. He picks it up, the red flower. Fire, the very thing everyone in the jungle fears. As he runs back toward his pack, the flames spread. The forest around him starts to burn. Bagheera and Baloo see the fire from afar and realize where he's heading. Mowgli races through the jungle with the torch in hand, determined to face Shere Khan himself, but the fire keeps spreading, setting the trees and grass ablaze. The animals, terrified, begin fleeing toward the river. They believe man has has come to destroy the jungle, but when they see it's Mowgli, they stop and stare in silence. Mowgli walks forward with the burning torch, shouting, "I'm not afraid of you, Shere Khan, and none of you should be afraid either." Moments later, Shere Khan steps out from the smoke and growls, "They're not afraid of me, little man. They're afraid of you. Look around, your red flower has made you one of them." All the animals watch as fire burns around them, and Mowgli stands face to face with the tiger. Shere Khan looks straight at Mowgli and says, "Go on, pick up that red flower. Strike me down just like your father did, and prove that you're not a wolf, but a man." Mowgli stares at the torch for a moment, then throws it into the river. He looks back at Shere Khan and says firmly, "This is my jungle, and I'm a true wolf." Shere Khan laughs darkly. "That was foolish, boy. Now you've lost your only weapon, the red flower. No one can save you now." Suddenly, Baloo steps forward, standing beside Mowgli. Then one by one, all the animals of the jungle come out from the shadows to join him. They stand together, ready to protect Mowgli. Seeing this, Shere Khan roars in fury, "I'll kill every one of you." He charges at them, and Baloo rushes forward to fight him. The two clash fiercely, claws and teeth colliding, until Shere Khan grabs Baloo by the neck. The others start to attack, but Bagheera holds Mowgli back and says, "You're not a wolf. Don't fight like one. Fight like a man." Mowgli quickly thinks of a plan. He runs toward the burning jungle. Behind him, the other animals continue to fight Shere Khan, buying Mowgli time. When Shere Khan notices Mowgli running into the jungle, he leaves the others and goes after him. Bagheera tries to stop the tiger, but is overpowered. The wolves also try to hold Shere Khan back, but he throws them aside and continues the chase. Mowgli reaches a dead hollow tree and sets his trap. He climbs up to a thin branch high above the fire. When Shere Khan sees him, he follows, climbing the tree to reach his prey, but the branch can't hold his weight. The tiger growls, "You'll die by my claws or by your red flower." Mowgli glares back at him, "I'm not afraid of you." Shere Khan roars in rage and leaps toward him. At that exact moment, Mowgli's trap works. He swings away using his rope, and the weak branch breaks under Shere Khan's weight. The tiger falls straight into the flames below and disappears into the fire. Mowgli climbs down safely, but the jungle around him is burning. Flames cover the trees, smoke fills the air, and the animals begin to flee. Just then, the elephants arrive. They remember how Mowgli once saved their child. Now it's their turn to help him. Mowgli climbs onto the lead elephant's back and guides them toward the flowing river. Together, they redirect the water toward the burning forest. The river floods through the jungle, extinguishing the fire and saving everyone. And the animals gather around Mowgli, proud and grateful. He stands tall, no longer just a man cub, but the protector of the jungle. And from that day on, Mowgli finally found where he truly belonged. Not as a man, not as a wolf, but as one of them. Mowgli didn't need the red flower to rule the jungle. He earned his place through loyalty, bravery, and love. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe for more powerful tales like this one.